We have Jehiel Oliver, CEO of Hello Tractor. Thanks, Jehiel, for joining us here today. Really appreciate it. You focus on access to mechanization services, but not necessarily ownership of a tractor. And I want to, obviously someone owns the tractor, and I'm sure you'll talk about that side of the business as well. But how important do you think these sort of shared services are combined with digital technology? Could you talk a little bit about your model and about that and how you see it in the future?
Yeah, and thanks, Alicia. Thanks for the invitation. Of course, we think that digital technology is important to promote a more sustainable, equitable ecosystem. We came into the Africa market with a collaborative consumption model for tractors because individual farmers, of course, as we all know, grow on very small plots of land. And it's just it doesn't make economic sense for an individual growing on, where we started in Nigeria, the average plot size is 1.1 hectares. It's even less in Kenya, where I'm sitting today. It doesn't make any sense for that individual to own their own equipment, right? The typical tractor in Kenya is roughly about $27,000. In Nigeria, it's a little more, $32,000 plus the cost of capital if it's a finance machine. So it just doesn't make sense to own it. And so, what we thought was if we can first provide assurances for an investor to become comfortable in investing in a tractor as a business asset, and then connect that tractor owner to farmers who are geographically dispersed, working on these small plots of land, aggregate. And I heard the theme of clustering quite a few times. But the idea is, can we help cluster the demand across these geographically dispersed customers and then connect these clustered bookings for service to tractor owners? And so that was kind of the tip of the spear for our market entry. There's a saying in the Silicon Valley tech community, which is come for the tool, stay for the customer, or stay for the marketplace. And we kind of took a similar approach where our tool, the bait to build up the supply in the market, was an application for a tractor owner to purchase from Hello Tractor, along with a monitoring device that goes onto their tractor that gives the machine owner the complete visibility around where their tractor is at all times, what it's doing, how much work it completed, the maintenance needs, fuel consumption and/or theft, which gives them the assurances to become comfortable with investing in tractors as an asset class. And then secondarily, once you have that supply in the marketplace, you then can turn on the demand side where you begin to organize farmers and connect these organized groups of farmers needing similar services in the same vicinity at the same time with these tractor owners who are looking to not only secure their asset, but also increase the utilization and related revenue of their asset. And so that was our approach, and the assets that we use across the last mile to organize these farmers, we call them booking agents, but I heard extension agents mentioned multiple times already. Vinay mentioned it a couple times already. That's the last mile infrastructure, right? That we built our marketplace on top of. And I think it's important. And I'll echo Vinay's point around the need for collaboration across both public and private sector to leverage on those investments being made across the last mile to build out that infrastructure that organizes farmers into groups so service delivery can become more profitable. And also the distribution of inputs like fertilizer, seed, crop care, all this requires last mile coordination. And so echoing that point and the importance of that last mile coordination and letting that burden be shared across multiple actors so you don't have a situation where people are acquiring their own customers and that same customer who is buying fertilizer should be buying seed, should be buying crop care from a variety of other customers, but a variety of other vendors, but those vendors are also engaging with their own customer base. It's not profitable, it's not scalable. And I think that's a lot of the challenges that we see, even with the digital solutions, is we're all kind of building out our own customer bases, and the customer acquisition costs are just too high to do that in a sustainable way, and the customer lifetime value is too low.
I just want to punctuate the point you just made, which is an important role that the public sector needs to play is coordinating farmers, whether that's through extension agents, whether that's through cooperatives, whether that's through some other function. But essentially, if the public sector can buy down the cost of coordinating groups of farmers, that then enables digital solutions, different companies to offer those services in a more affordable way. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. And I think there's this ownership issue with companies engaged in agriculture, where you don't see as much sharing as you would expect. People want to own these customers and really be protective of these customer relationships, right? And it's a bit bizarre because it's not as if I can't really point to any company that's so incredibly profitable and successful, specifically across the last mile, right? That there's something to even protect, right? I mean, what value are you afraid of losing there? I think the only way you can really become successful is to successfully sell your service or your product through the channel that you created. But then you should only hope that other vendors, other service providers come in and provide those supplementary products and services to continue to support that farmer in a more holistic way, to increase the farmer's productivity so they remain in the market, right? And, for Hello Tractor, yes, our farmers need mechanization. If we're lucky, they'll mechanize across the production cycle. But what we also need is our partners to successfully deliver improved seed varieties to that customer, fertilizer and the adequate amounts of fertilizer with recommendations, right? Crop care, financing, as Josephine was mentioning. And that's not something that Hello Tractor has any interest in doing. We have to partner with people to enable those services. And I think that's something that we're only starting to see more of in our ecosystem.
Yeah, thanks, Jehiel. And it just reminds me, tomorrow when we have the discussion about the back end, one of the things that we'll be focusing on is the importance of exchanging data, sharing data. You mentioned this possessiveness over customers. I think sometimes there's also possessiveness over that data, the information about those customers and their plots and a whole lot of other things. And while data is being kind of transacted in the market, and so I understand that, there's so much richness and new value to be created when data sets are exchanged or paired within a context where the partners agree. So tomorrow we're going to be talking a lot more about data exchange and how that can unlock some new opportunities. So